lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Across these United States we travel for a trip down I-95 and a visit to Old Tobacco Road. Round 8 is coming your way in this championship battle for the Lawrence Towing Cup. Saturday night short track racing in America returns with the Bootleg Racing League on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. Good evening everyone and welcome to the Outlaw 100 at Southern National Motorsports Park this evening with the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series. I'm Sean Ambrose. At my side tonight is Mr. Excitement himself, Chris Scala. In the GSRC virtual production truck, twisted and tweaking the dials, Joe Candy Cab Peak. Our man Dougie Beard handling the cameras tonight, an amazing Technicolor streamed into your home through the worldwide wonder of the internet. Well, folks, I hope you tuned in last week. If you didn't, you missed a full field of Lawrence Towing Outlaw SK Modifieds busting out strong from the gate last week at Irwindale Speedway on the inner loop. The Outlaws would get off to a long, fast green flag run for a total of 38 laps to get the race started. Now there'd be a caution flag, but it would be the restart on that caution flag, lap 43. They get restarted, they bring out another yellow, comes right back out when Ben Wilson went for a wild ride after making contact with Jeff Sharp. Several cars would get caught in that melee, would need to come in for their quick repair less than halfway through the race. And as this will happen sometimes, cautions would breed, a couple of more cautions, and the restart on lap 68 would be key. With Donnie Moore starting on the outside, going for it all, would jump the start. And that stop-and-go penalty almost certainly dashes hope for another title as the mountain almost gets too steep to climb. It's not over yet. We'll see what that lays in store for Donnie. As the laps wore down and the occasional yellow would fly, we'd see J.R. Shepard rise from the smoke and the ash to get win number 3 of the season. He'll need more wins to secure another championship, but last week he took care of business to even up Matt LaVenture in the win column. Chris, again, an exciting battle at Irwindale last week, but man, we're here at Southern National, and I know you'd love to talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. This is an awesome track to race at, Southern National. It's a 4/10-mile oval. I call it a little Bristol when it's all over with. High bank track, 17 degrees of banking, which, yes, it's half the size of Bristol, but when you see this track and the way it races, how fast it is, when you got cars running 13.4-second laps in practice with modifieds, you'll see why this track is very Bristol. Now, last season it ran with multiple grooves. You had a low and a high groove. Tonight, I'm not sure we're going to see that, as we've had some changes with some of the racing here with the new builds and stuff. We might literally see a Bristol one groove style track right there down on the bottom. But this track is fast. It's high banked, and you'll miss a lot if you blink. Let's put it like that. And if you don't trust me, let's take a look at the lap guide, and I hope you don't blink during the next 30 seconds.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik and this is Southern National Motorsports Park in the GSRC SK Modified. Without further ado, let's show you how you get around this joint. Hot lap, looking to find the bottom right here. No other place to run. Hook that bottom right off of turn 2, swing it right out here to the fence, and then back down into turn 3. This track is a nice little short track. Doesn't give you a whole lot of time to think. You just kind of have to drive this place on instinct. But if you do make a mistake, there is a lot of banking, as you can see right up there, that will catch you in case you have a mistake, unless that's off the bumper of the competitor around you. Then that wall will be waiting for you up there. But turns 3 and 4, find it right there underneath the start-finish line, back into turn 1. It's a very, very rhythm-based track. Once you get a good rhythm around here, you're fairly unstoppable, even to the point that I set my personal best time here on the 4th lap on the track. Really, as you're going to watch these guys go, this track is so good for racing. I mean, especially if you're up there on that second groove, you might be able to get a good run off of the corner and try to pinch them down, whoever you're racing against, off of the corners. Southern National Motorsports Park is bound to put on a good show for these SK Modifieds as the race progresses on. But without further ado, I'm Brian Yazik. This is the GSRC SK Modified. Enjoy the show.
And there is a lap around Southern National Motorsports Park. Let's send it to Chris real quick and take a look at this points battle. And it is a battle, Chris.
It's been a battle. In the last couple weeks, we went off the old slogan of, can I get any closer? Well, last week it finally got farther apart as J.R. Shepherd won the race. Of course, we talked about Donnie Moore at the beginning of the broadcast with his issues last week at Irwindale. Really hurt him. He lost almost 10 points when it was all over with, fell down to the 3rd position. Now, Donnie, behind closed doors, as we talked to him this week, told us, Sean, that he feels he's out of it. His confidence is pretty low right now, but let's be honest. There's still 4 races left. Being 9 points out in 3rd, he's still got a shot at this. He needs some things to happen, but he's got a shot at this. But you see Shepherd there, 7 back. John Holcomb, Ben Wolfson, 29 and 31 points back, respectively. But the last couple weeks, I've went in with the perspective of, I think Donnie Moore's got to win this particular race, or J.R. Shepherd's got to win this particular race. Tonight, Sean, Matt LaVenture, I think tonight can put his mark on this championship if he can go out here and dominate this race tonight. If he can go out here and have a 10-plus point lead going into next week's race, what leaves 3 races left, I think this could be the race that we look back at and say, yeah, LaVenture won the championship here tonight.
Well, I think your point's very well taken. I think also, though, that, J.R. Shepherd and Donnie Moore are in must-win situations, and they need a little hope, too, and hope that maybe Matt LaVenture doesn't find the front this evening, doesn't find a podium at all. We don't want to wish any ill will on him, but I'm sure his competitors at this point are hoping that it's time for him to slip up maybe in one of these things. I don't know if that's a gamble I want to take. He's proven himself to be pretty good. Southern National, it's a bit of a track where you can get out and stretch your legs a bit. If you get a good run, it's awful hard to catch up unless you got a little bit of help from some friends. And I don't know if the battle at the front is littered with friends. Friends off the track, indeed, but fierce competitors on the track. So, but now let's talk about the race this evening and what we got going on here, Chris. I know we got 100 laps ahead of us, but why don't you enlighten everyone here real quick?
Well, and if this race is anything like the Super Late Model race we had a few minutes ago, that race lasted all of 26 minutes to get through. That's how quick this track can be. Or in the SK Modified, though, tonight you're going to watch a fixed setup. Top 8 on the grid are going to be inverted. You'll see John Holcomb being on the pole. We'll talk about that here in a minute this evening. 100 laps, 40 miles, 1 faster pair. 100% fuel, but again, as I always say, the tires you bring with you are the tires you're leaving Southern National Motorsports Park with this evening. You're not changing them at all. If you do, it's pretty steep penalty, so be aware of that. Double file restarts, as always, Lucky Dogs are in effect, and of course we have dynamic weather in play this evening, which as I look at the weather, 76 degrees and clear in North Carolina right now with 76-degree track temp, so pretty good amount of grip probably in the track right now if I were to take a wild guess, Sean.
Well, I'm jealous. It's certainly a lot warmer there than it is here in North Texas, and maybe I need to get over there a little bit quicker. But hey, listen, those race details were brought to you by the Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing. At virtualgrip.net, you can stay up to date on what's happening in iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Blanc Pond GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series, Chris.
Now, Sean, I know we got to have about 4 minutes left. I know we normally talk about this at the end, but something was brought onto me this week, and I want to bring it up now because I know it's coming. I've been told that the good people at Trading Paints and iRacing, they've got the templates out for the dirt cars. So it's pretty safe to say, I think it's fairly safe. I mean, obviously it's not been official yet, that probably December, if not early January, we're going to see hashtag confirmed, dirt confirmed, that is. And with the, of course, Bootleg Racing League, they got their big series coming up in the very near future.
Well, they do, and they've made no real secret of it, Chris. They're going to run dirt. And they're going to do it on Tuesday nights beginning in January of 2017. Of course, we don't have a date yet. It's tentative, but I'd say if you're releasing models of the cars to be painted, it's got to be close. It's got to be real close. But they're looking to do that on Tuesday nights. And Lawrence Towing Lawrence Towing is going to be the title sponsor of that series, the Lawrence Towing Late Model Dirt Series. It'll be open to all Class D and above iRacers. There is currently a waiting list. You want more information about it, though, you can certainly catch them at bootlegracingleague.com and check that out. Now, also, a big announcement coming down here. We're going to have some more details in the coming weeks, but Street Stocks and Pro Trucks are coming back to BRL in 2017, and like I said, the details are forthcoming on that, Chris, but that'll be the junior series to what we run here as the main event on Saturday nights. And I hear they're going to play around with the lap count maybe just a bit. They're thinking about making some changes there. Maybe not going to run quite 100 laps on those races. So interesting changes coming to the silent lineup, but the main event is pretty much locked in for next season, and we'll be back and certainly look forward to 100 laps on most of the races we'll be running. I know we ran 80 at Richmond here, but that was kind of a special deal this season. First time they went there, and it's rumored they may be returning. We'll see, Chris.
Well, that was a fantastic race. As we've had, 7 fantastic races so far, and looking forward to an 8th one this evening. I'm just kind of looking more at the track here, Sean. I've been looking at the grooves in the corners here. You're looking at Donnie Moore right now getting his car worked on, and unfortunately he's been struggling a little bit tonight, 10th on the board in practice. But look at these corners and how black they're getting already. That's the one thing that's kind of come notice to me. I know you and I talked off the air about how we think this might be more of a single grooved race than what we saw last season. I think the darker this groove gets, though, and the more they wear out this inside line, you could see a second groove come into play here, I think.
Well, that's the hope. Now, the word is from the limited lates and the super lates that didn't really come to fruition like they thought it would. But you know what? You are right. They are starting to wear that down. I've got a couple drivers out here that got 60-plus laps in already. Another one approaching 60. So, yeah, they're definitely getting the rubber laid down on this track. And, when you're talking about a high bank fast track like this, you want to get a groove in there. You want to find grip somewhere. It's important. It doesn't take much to get the rubber off these tires and down to the pavement. Then that's the other thing you want to talk about is that we've got 100 laps here this evening. It's going to be a quick, fast, and furious race, but at some point you've got to think a little bit about tire management. You can't beat them up down there for 100 laps. If you do, you're not going to last. You won't make it to the end of this race. Some of these guys chasing are probably going to be pushing pretty hard.
Well, and that's what makes it interesting, especially when you have a field. Your fastest car right now in practice is J.R. Shepard at 13.4. Your slowest car is a 13.9 in 12th. That's less than a half second is separated. So when you look at it, the more you wear your tires out, that's going to spread the field out because you're going to have guys who are wearing their tires out. They're going to fall back. You're going to have guys saving their tires. They're going to work their way up. Those fast laps, that's one lap. But if you keep running 13.4, 13.4, 13.4, eventually it's going to become 14 flats and 14 fives. And all of a sudden you're going to have a guy running 13.8s consistently. Guess who's going to win that race? Remember, the tortoise did beat the rabbit when it was over with.
That's right. Well, you know what? I see that pace car sitting there at the start-finish line, that means just one thing. It's time to go racing. Let's call out this grid for tonight's Outlaw 100 from Southern National Motorsports Park. Here is your starting grid. John Holcomb going to start on the pole tonight. Inside of row 1, Jeff Sharp going to be the outside there, Chris.
Yeah, row number 2. Last week's, first and second place finishers, also first and second in points. Matt LaVenture there in third, alongside last week's winner, J.R. Shepard.
Lowell Jewell going to get to start tonight on the inside of row 3, 5th place. And Matt Shadowski going to start outside in 6th.
Ralph Connor, he'll be inside of row number 4 in 7th position. The guy that's had his struggles the last couple weeks, looking for a bounce back. Donnie Moore there in 8th.
Matt Hoos going to start inside row 5 in 9th. Philip Temples going to round out the top 10.
And rounding out the rest of the field, a very small field tonight. 12 cars, Ernie Brown and Lucas Stenziano there in the 12th position.
Lucas Stenziano had some pretty good laps there in practice, Chris, and that driver has returned this evening, looks ready to go get him a win.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, all 12 guys running close laps. I think that's going to make this a really fun race to watch. And hopefully you got your popcorn there if you watch this on iRacing Live or on the Global Sim Racing channel on YouTube, because these laps are going to fly by. 13-second laps, so you're almost doing 5 laps in 1 minute. So
folks,
just be ready.
Folks, I hope you're streaming this on the big screen. Got the 100-inch projection going, and you're watching it live right now on the Global Sim Racing channel and iRacing Live. We get ready to get going here. John Holcomb going to lead him off at the line, and there he goes on the hammer across the line down into 1. John Holcomb, the Lawrence Towing SK Modified, in the lead down the backstretch. Matt LaVenture already looking for a way to get around, putting the pressure on early lap 1. He looks to the inside coming across the line.
Block.
Holcomb is going to keep it for the first lap.
Now, one thing John Holcomb.
We got Donnie Moore spinning in the middle of the turn.
Oh boy, the struggles continue for the 26.
Boy, the struggle is real for Donnie Moore. Lap 2 goes around in the middle of the turn. It happens in the middle of 1 and 2. Let's see if maybe there's some contact. Boy, it looks like a little bit of Nerf bar there with Chip Dicker. I'm sorry, that was number 9 of the number 9 of Ralph Connor. I'm sorry, Chip's not here tonight.
Leave a message at the beep. Well, either way, first caution's out. He didn't hit anything, so no harm, no foul. If you ask me, there's the contact with Connor, though.
Boy, Stenziano just got around that.
Now, I was about to say, Sean, before that caution came out, John Holcomb, if you remember, started on the pole back in Richmond 2 weeks ago and led some laps, but had trouble keeping the car in the bottom, and it costed him when it was all over with. And I want to see if tonight he has that same kind of issue with that 69 car. But LaVenture with a great start, getting himself up to second. J.R. Shepard already there to third. So again, the cream rising right to the top.
Well, the Lawrence Towing SK Modified going to get a chance to restart this race. Still your leader. But Matt LaVenture was really putting the pressure on there just on the second lap of the race, going for the juggler early. J.R. Shepard there in third. He's going to get the start down on the bottom right behind John. The lights are off on the pace car. We're going to make our way down the back stretch here and get ready to cut him loose one more time. All right, here we go. Chris, it's pulling off now. Holcomb leading him off at the line. He's gone. Yes, gets a nice jump there on LaVenture. LaVenture running it up high, leaving the door open for JR. He's got him down there on the inside. JR makes that good move down to the 3. Side by side they are, but there's John Holcomb in the lead. Gets a nice restart to this race.
You can see the bottom line right now, Sean, by far the fastest. J.R. Shepard able to get by LaVenture. He's going to get to the bottom. Here's one car climbing a wall back there. I think it was Matt Hoosen to 21. But everybody else safely going.
All right, so this is a good plan for John. He's got to be consistent, start putting off some really good, solid laps here, and try and keep that space between him and J.R. Shepard. But J.R. Shepard able to wrestle away second place there from LaVenture, and now LaVenture in a position of having to follow.
Like I said, if you're looking like this looks really familiar, like I said, this track drives just like an old Bristol. Is got trouble there. There's some contact somewhere.
J.R. Shepherd. Yeah, J.R. Shepherd getting a little bit of the wall there coming across the front. Just past the start-finish line. He climbed it.
In battle back here for 7th. Philip Temple's going to get past Ralph Connors. You're right on board with LaVenture there in 3rd.
John Holcomb really swung it out wide coming out of 4 and lost a little bit of momentum there. That's allowing J.R. Shepherd to kind of close the gap there just a bit. Here he comes, bringing LaVenture with him.
And Holcomb
Jeff Sharp sitting back there in 4th.
Yeah, Holcomb had the same issue at Richmond. I just brought it up, pal. He seemed to overdrive the car and slide it up the track a lot. And that cost him the lead in that race. He led about the first 10 to 15 laps, and all of a sudden that car just started sliding up the track. And here J.R. Shepherd's ready to pounce on him.
Yeah, he is. And again, the car swings all the way up to the wall like that. JR closes down just a little bit more. Chris, you're all over it. John having that same, it seems almost exactly the same point it happened at Richmond. And boy, Shepherd gets another really, really good bite off of 2. Now they come in through 3, and now Shepherd's right there alongside of him. Almost got a wheel in, not quite. Holcomb going to close the door on that lap.
You know what I'm almost wondering, too, and I want to watch closely here as well. Shanowski spins. Matt Shanowski on the backstretch is going around. The Hardy's car didn't hit anything, just spun it around. He's going to get going. No caution so far.
Better get going quick here.
Here goes. Holcomb gets tagged. He's spinning back on the track.
Holcomb is stopped in the middle of the track, Chris.
He got loose, and J.R. Shepherd kind of tagged him.
Yeah, let's pick this up on the replay. Wow, that unfolded.
There's the Shanowski spin, and you're going to see right there in the back. Watch Holcomb get loose.
Yeah, Holcomb started losing it coming off the turn. And then might have had a little help finishing the spin. Let's look at it again here.
Now, one thing I was going to say is you're right on board Shepherd here. You're going to hear the contact here. It's very slight. Not enough, I don't think, to do any damage. Right there is the contact.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. But, man, what a wild ride there for John Holcomb. He had a great restart going. The car seemed to kind of go away from there for a couple laps, and it cost him coming off the turn there. It just had no grip coming off, and it went around, and then he got just all the final help it needed. No fault to J.R. Shepherd there. He was just closing in on him, had nowhere to go. How do you react when a car is that close in front of you and you're traveling at over 100 miles an hour? So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these cars are going 120 mile an hour around here. It's kind of hard to stop on a dime, especially even in a modified car like this. Just not really possible. But the one thing I was going to say, Sean, about Holcomb that I was wanting to see closely, and obviously I couldn't tell that before the spin happened, is how hard he was driving into the corner. Because that could be something, too. If you drive into the corner deep, that's going to allow you to be tight off the corner. And that could be something that Holcomb's doing and maybe needs to adjust back up the corner a little bit so he can roll the bottom.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We got a long race in front of us still. We're just now coming across working lap 22. Going to get restarted. Hit the quarter pole here on the restart. We're lining up, heading down the backstretch now, and J.R. Shepherd going to restart this race, your leader. Matt LaVenture stuck up on the outside. Jeff Sharp worked his way up to 3rd. Lowell Jewell sitting there in 4th. Here we go. Oh, J.R. Shepherd holds him up just a bit. LaVenture was ready to go. J.R. wasn't. Woo, it got stacked up.
There's 3 wide back there for 5th.
Little argy-bargy there on the start. J.R. Shepherd runs away now in 1st. LaVenture right there with him. Jeff Sharp hanging on to 3rd. Battle behind those guys. Philip Temples, Lowell Jewell, wheel to wheel. Lowell Jewell almost gets contact there from Ralph Connor.
How about Ernie Brown up in there getting a fight on? Ernie Brown started on the back row.
Ernie! Oh, Ernie clips Lowell! Oh!
Connors, Shanowski.
Oh, Ernie had a run going and it just couldn't get out of it in time. You can see it from above there. There's Ernie on the inside and the Frankenstein machine. Lowell Jewell in a number 5, and Ernie going to get just a little bit of that right wheel. Left rear with the right front. That's going to put Ralph Connor up in the wall, and then Matt Hoos gets into Connor. What a shame. Shinosky, that was the double zero there. Matt Shinosky, you saw go sliding out of the inside of the track. Let's ride on board with him now. Shinosky at the back of this. Innocent bystander at this point. And then it all breaks loose, and he's got just nowhere to go, and Lowell comes back across, and that's the contact. Hard contact on the right front of Matt Shinosky's car. That will result in that one free repair that you get. Ralph Connor still trying to make his way into the pit. All right, here we go. J.R. Shepard going to be your leader. Matt LaVenture in second. Jeff Sharp in third. Donnie Moore going to sit there. And Philip Temple's in fourth. Donnie Moore in fifth. John Holcomb sixth. Matt Hoos seventh. Matt Shinosky eighth. Lowell Jewell, Ralph Connor, and Ernie Brown all still in the pit.
And you might wonder, Sean, if Donnie Moore might have gotten his bad luck out of the way early. How he got through the middle of that wreck. All of a sudden now sits in the 5th position.
Yeah, his fortunes are starting to turn around just a little bit, but I don't want to talk about that too early.
Nope. We're going to leave him alone there.
Let's leave Donnie alone. Let's leave him alone this evening. JR though, what's JR gonna do on this restart? We're about to find out here, as the pace car is setting up in 3 and getting ready to peel off here. Will it be the same kind of restart? LaVenture. Oh, and JR again, really slow on the restart. LaVenture finally gets on the pedal and just says, you know what, if you're not going to go, I'm going to go. And I think it's going to be a clean restart. LaVenture holding on the outside. And JR hanging out down there, keeping that bottom line nice and tidy. Does not want to open a door. Here comes Jeff Sharp right behind him.
Donnie
now
Moore
Jeff Sharp to the inside.
Yep, you got Temples in there. It's like the restart.
Temples!
No!
Temples in
LaVenture!
contact with LaVenture. Oh, Temples gets a little bit of the rear end of LaVenture there and sends him around.
Oh, this could be big.
Phil gets that run down the back and then just doesn't slow her down quite enough there through the turn. Gets into LaVenture, and both of them get stopped up there, collected in the corner, just in the middle of the turn there, and that's a tough break.
That's just a tough situation there for LaVenture. I was just looking over the replay there and seeing if anything he could have done different. I think it was just a wrong spot, wrong time there, and it looks like the 18 is going to come to pit road, use his fast repair here, but he's going to restart. Looks like back in the 9th position, as we've lost Lucas Cinziano and Ernie Brown. They've fallen behind the wall, and Ralph Connor 2 laps down right now, so it looks like he'll start in the 9th position, but still, only a third of the race in. You still got plenty of time to work your way back up.
Oh, absolutely. Plenty of time. Now, Jeff Sharp, battling hard, up to second. Donnie Moore back in the picture. And to say that Donnie Moore and J.R. Shepard might have a little bit of a grid night right now might be an understatement. I don't know. This is the kind of help they need. It's the kind of help they're getting right now. So...
Well, I made a comment earlier, Sean, and said that this is, I think LaVenture's race to maybe put a stamp on a championship, but, like, say if Virtual Rain showed up right now, J.R. Shepard would actually be the point leader because of that incident.
Well, we're not going to have any Virtual Rain this evening.
Good.
They're going to finish out of this race indeed. They're lining up. Double file restarts this season are back. Successful and fun. JR, now what's JR going to do with this field now? He doesn't have LaVenture there, so let's see what kind of restart we're going to get here. The pace car peeling off now. JR Shepard starts it out nice and slow again. Been very consistent the last 3 restarts. Gets out to a nice start. Donnie Moore pulling off into second. Pulls up in front of Sharp.
How about Donnie Moore? Spun out lap number 2, and now he runs second.
Yep, he's just going to grab on to that rear bumper of J.R. Shepherd and follow. Battle going on back here between Hoos and Jeff Sharp. Hoos trying to take that position away.
And Hoos has got it
he's
loose.
done it.
Hoos has got it loose on that bottom side. He's going to take the
Jeff Sharp almost.
A little bit of a tank slapper.
Sorry there, Chris.
Oh, hey.
Oh, man, here comes John Holcomb. Oh, Matt Shinoski up into the wall, coming off of turn 4. All kinds of action going on, and there's LaVenture caught back there behind John Holcomb.
Yeah, already up to the 6th position, restarted in the 9th spot. How about up front, Donnie Moore putting pressure on Shepherd.
Yeah, a little bit. JR's not running away. And Matt Hoos starting to peel off a couple of good laps there, keeping them just up in sight.
Hoos doing a good job. Sharp in a battle for 5th now. John Holcomb, Matt LaVenture. LaVenture trying to find his way around. Drives to the bottom here.
Boy,
he saw Holcomb get loose. He looks good.
LaVenture is digging. He is digging. Oh, we got another caution?
Yep, turn 4. Lowell Jewell has gone around.
Oh, Lowell runs it really high, coming up off of 4, and he grabs a little bit too much of that concrete. Spins the car around.
The boss man not going to be happy after that.
Tough break, hard hit, nose in.
Ralph Connor going to get another wave around. He'll be back in the lead lap.
Did Lowell, was he one of the cars that had to come down for fast repair before, wasn't he?
I think he did. He was the one that got tagged in that incident that had Connor involved, also LaVenture and a couple others, yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking Lowell may have had to use that fast repair already, and if that's the case, boy, the front end of that car is really torn up right now, and who knows if the steering is pointing in the right direction for him right now.
And we're going to find out here. He'll bring his car down to pit road to number 5. Lowell's had another tough season.
John Holcomb coming in also. Wow. Well,
he had the spare car.
Okay, good stuff. So Lowell still had that car in his card in his pocket, and the car on the track. That's kind of where I wanted to go with that, Chris.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. But yeah, he must have spun only and not hit anything in that caution. That allowed him to stay out there, but gets himself a brand new car. And what do you know? He's got 50 laps. We'll go back to racing here about halfway, and he's still got a shot.
And would you look at this top 5 that's getting ready to restart this race? J.R. Shepherd, Donnie Moore, Matt Hoos, Jeff Sharp, Matt LaVenture.
Yeah, 2 of the top 5 already been involved in incidents tonight.
Yeah, and having worked their way all the way back up through the field and get back to where they are now, and that's halfway. We have hit the halfway point of this race. Working lap 50 now. We're going to get restarted at the halfway point. And the pace car coming down the backstretch now. Bringing him down slow, 45 miles an hour. It's going to be J.R. Shepherd and Donnie Moore side by side. Matt Hoos, Jeff Sharp right behind him.
You think Moore learned his lesson from last week?
J.R. Shepherd gets on it, gets a nice start. Jeff Sharp gets kind of checked up there behind.
I think Moore remembered from last week. Sean. Remember the jumping of the restart last week?
Yeah, it was probably, trying to make sure he didn't jump.
Cautious here.
J.R. Shepherd gets a great restart, though. Look at him just pull away for the field.
Well, sometimes being conservative means you're going to lose a little bit, and that's what happened here. Now you got this battle for second. Donnie Moore's trying to fight Matt Hoos on that outside.
Ooh, Donnie getting a little piece of it, throwing some sparks. Hoos battling with him. They are wheel to wheel into turn 3. Donnie trying to hang on up there.
Oof.
Who said there was a side-by-side racing here? Oh, here comes LaVenture now. Oh, Donnie getting passed by LaVenture now. Oh, who's just really loose there. 3 wide through the turn. Here comes Philip Temples on the inside, just behind Jeff Sharp. Oh, Matt
Hoos
Hoos
up the
running
track
up the
again.
track. Something happened to Hoos.
He got loose.
Apparently so. The push was real, and he had to get out of it. Goes all the way to the back of the field. Phil Temples with a run on Jeff Sharp. Almost makes contact. Boy, that was really close. Now here comes Phil Temples. Looking to the inside of Jeff Sharp.
Matt Hoos coming to pit road, unscheduled pit stop. Not sure what's wrong with the 21 car there. As Temples is going to take third.
Look at this battle back here for third place. Oh, Jeff Sharp's in the wall. Almost gets clipped by Matt Shinoski. Matt does a really good job of avoiding him, getting under him.
Great stuff, man. This is good.
All this going on, and J.R. Shepard opens it up now. 2 seconds on Matt LaVenture. 2 seconds on this track, Chris. Think about
That's
that. 2
a
seconds.
lot. That's a straightaway, pretty much. When you look at it, you're on a straightaway about 2.5 seconds here.
Wow. JR really hooked up. And but I got to tell you, the laps are really close right now between him and LaVenture.
Yeah, last time by, Shepard with a 9.63, LaVenture a 9.22. Fastest two on the track by far.
Well, JR, all he does is just try to take care of his business. I said it at the top of the show. That's all he can do is just take care of his own business. Don't worry about what's in the mirror. Rip it off the windshield now. Throw it in the back. You don't need it. JR, just keep digging, baby.
LaVenture 0.2 faster at last lap, this time by about a 10th faster. So LaVenture's gaining a little bit each lap. It's down to 1.6 seconds.
Green flag is J.R. Shepard's best friend right now. Keep this thing green. He's got a shot.
Well, actually, Sean, a caution wouldn't be so bad right now because it would put LaVenture on the outside.
Yeah, it would, but you know what? I don't want to battle with Matt LaVenture. I want to keep him in the mirror back there as far as I can. Now he is starting to pick it up just a little bit though. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take my chances on a restart, but right now the laps are ticking down, buddy. Just about 35 left to go here.
And right on board with Jeff Sharp here in the 5th position, chasing down Donnie Moore there in the 26th there in the 4th spot. But this is definitely got a wild finish maybe here in front of us here. Got some very tight racing everywhere.
Well, I'll tell you what. Matt can get to Donnie. I'm sorry, can get to JR. Can he get around?
Oh, so you're saying my old line, catching them's one thing, passing them's another?
I'm just thinking here that JR is not going to give him anything easy. If Matt can get up there to him, I think we will see that battle to the very, very last turn.
Yeah, I'm thinking about our good friend Soup right now. I know there's a line he says here, and I cannot for the life of me remember it.
Yeah, I don't want to steal Soup's line. I
Ah,
thought about trying to milk that old rooster, but we'll leave that one for Soup. His delivery is so much better than mine. Oh boy, that gap's starting to close, isn't it, Chris?
Oh, it's down to a second. Looking at lap times, everybody's in the 14s now. Oh, I say that LaVenture goes 13.983 on that lap, 0.2 again on JR. You know what? We got to fight for third, though, too. Let's want to look back here as LaVenture is catching, and we'll keep a track on that. But look at Temples, look at Donnie Moore, look at Jeff Sharp back here. Guys in a fight for the 4th spot.
Sharp having a good run. You know, Phil Temples, again, having another one of those really good evenings, man. He's hanging in there. I mean, he's the leader of that troop back there, and right now, they just can't seem to catch him.
No, but Sharp is doing everything he can to get around Donnie Moore here. Moore got a little loose off 4 the last time. He gets a little loose into 1 there. You start to see these tires wearing out.
Yeah, you know, speaking of that, going back to what's going on up front, Matt LaVenture, maybe he's been digging a little bit too hard. Maybe that car's starting to fall off just a bit. his last couple laps, it seems like things have stabilized just a little bit, Chris.
JR also could have been playing a little bit of, I'm just going to back up to him a little bit, and now that he's gotten closer, put the foot on the gas and save some tires.
Playing a little possum out there.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
It's good country for possum here in North Carolina. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting finish indeed if we stay green.
Well, I say that now, and it's down to 0.6 of a second after LaVenture's starting to pick it up again. Not to mention, we got a 3-car fight for third now. Donnie Moore has caught Temples.
Yeah, that battle is not done. Not done at all. All Donnie's got to do is get around Phil Temples, and he's got a shot at a victory if, well, let's just face it, if LaVenture and JR get to fighting there at the end, it's Donnie's to win, right? And all he's got to do is get around Phil Temples at this point. Phil making nothing easy right now. Phil been very consistent, and he remains that way right now heading into turn 1. Keeping it stuck down there on the bottom just makes it impossible for Donnie to get a run on him.
That if might be win for LaVenture. He's now down to 0.2 of a second. That battle is about to be on for the lead right now, actually.
Donnie Moore taking a look. Taking a look, but it's not there. The battle is up front, Chris. You're right. LaVenture looking for that opportunity, looking at the top, looks to the bottom. Oh, and he gets that wheel in, and they are side by side out of 4. Oh, and give it to J.R. Shepherd, still officially the leader. LaVenture going to pull out in front, does not move up in front of him, no room to do it. J.R. hanging on up top. Can he win the drag race? Oh, no. Pass complete. Matt LaVenture, your new leader.
That right there is what a championship drive is supposed to be. Get involved in an instant midway through the race, restart 9th, and work your way all the way up to the front, now pulling away. That right there is a championship drive, Sean.
Yeah, Chris, I'm with you, buddy. I'm impressed. Color me impressed, because LaVenture pulls that move off quicker than I thought he would. I honestly didn't think he would catch him that quick. He did this evening. And now, as you said, he is really starting to pull away. That's just proof that JR knew he was back there and he was on the way. And JR was probably digging as hard as he could. He was pedaling just as quickly as he could down the street there, and it just wasn't enough. LaVenture has got by. He's still got to finish this race. We got 13 laps to go. And you know what? It ain't over yet. So nope. J.R. Shepherd. Now let's look back here to what's going back on in third. The battle for third is still on. Philip Temples holding on. Donnie Moore looking for that opportunity.
And Donnie's been driving it really hard into the corner. He's been driving up the track a little bit. It hasn't really helped him, but now you see him kind of keep it right there. I would say on the white line, but there's no line in the infield.
Oh, Donnie looking to the top.
Temples got loose.
Yeah, Donnie looking to the top, moves up the track. Now going to try to cross him over. The move wasn't there. Not enough momentum to get it done.
Oh, he's there now, though.
Yes, he is.
Hey, what? Shepherd hasn't let LaVenture get away. That lead's only about a half a second.
Yeah, and they're coming up on the lap car. Ralph Connor having to work through that. Oh, Temple's in the wall. Going into 3. Donnie Moore right behind him. Amazing. Temples does not lose that much momentum. Keeps Donnie Moore in his mirror. I don't know how he pulled that off.
Just a great drive so far by Temples and by Moore, as we're already got 7 laps to go. Laps clicking off here quick.
Boy, Phil Temples just driving that car. Driving it like he stole it, baby.
That's what you got to do.
Boy, Matt LaVenture still really turning in some good laps here. You know, once he got by Connor, he opened up the throttle again, and he's able to keep that distance right now to Shepherd. Their laps very, very close, but Shepherd running out of time here real quick with 5 laps to go.
You know, and one thing, Sean, we've been doing this for, 3 seasons now or so we've been together on this. I've never seen somebody overpower J.R. Shepherd until tonight.
Yeah, Matt LaVenture really starting to express himself here, becoming one of those guys that's looking to maybe write his own legend here in the Outlaw Modified Series. And, he put that move on Shepard. He got by him, almost made it look a little easy. We thought maybe he'd used up the car just a bit, but he obviously had saved enough. And that Krankenstein number 18 SK Modified is looking for another win. It's looking for win number 4. J.R. Shepard still back there digging in second. Philip Temple's over 7 seconds back. Here comes the white flag. It's out now, and here comes Matt LaVenture around one last time through 3 and 4. Out of 4, your winner, Matt LaVenture, this evening in the Outlaw 100 Southern National Motorsports Park. J.R. Shepard going to have to settle for second. Philip Temple's going to finish third. Now, again, Matt LaVenture driving it like he stole it, and all he had to do was get by J.R. Shepard. Once he worked that out, Chris, it was off to victory lane.
Yeah, just a great run by LaVenture. Again, got in an accident back here around right around the midway point in this race, and he was able to get that car, get it repaired, get out there, and restart 9, stay on the lead lap, and just used a couple of cautions and got himself up to the front. And now he's got win number 4 and going to extend that point lead just a little bit also tonight.
Yes, sir. And as the fireworks blow off here and the celebration ensues, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be back with you here in just a moment on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing channel. Be right back. And welcome back. Southern National Motorsports Park, Saturday night short track racing in America here with on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. You just witnessed the Outlaw 100, and brother, what a race it was. Matt LaVenture takes win number 4 this season. He is your big winner this evening. J.R. Shepard, Mr. Taking Care of Business, he did all he could, but in the end, Matt just had too much for him. JR got to take second this evening. Philip Temples, third place. Donnie Moore, fourth this evening. And I'll tell you what, that's a great drive for him after what happened on lap 2. And then rounding out your top 5 is going to be Jeff Sharp, Chris.
Yeah, Lowell Jewell going to get 6th after his comeback. He come back up to the 6th position. Great job there. Matt Shanowski, 7th. It's like Groundhog Day. Look who finished 8th. And we'll start on the pole next week, or 2 weeks from now. John Holcomb, they're finishing 8th. Ralph Connor, Matt Hoosier, top 10.
And then rounding out this 12-car field going to be Ernie Brown. Many laps down there. He got involved early. Lucas Denziano. Actually, that was a connection problem for Lucas, and shame to lose him this evening. He had a fast car, avoided some trouble early, but can't stick it out for the race. But Chris, somebody who did stick it out was Matt LaVenture, and he did more than stick it out. He put a stamp on it. I'm going to let you talk to him about that stamp.
Yeah, Matt LaVenture here in Victory Lane this evening. A man who led 18 laps was involved in an incident, 2 incidents as a matter of fact, as I think about it now, but still comes back and gets himself into Victory Lane. Matt, I said before the race started, I said tonight was a night that Matt LaVenture could go out and say, you know what, this is my championship. Yeah, we got 3 races left, but was tonight that kind of statement for you?
Tonight was just full sweaty Mongo mode from the green flag. These guys, I knew definitely JR and Don, you're going to be fast, but really the whole field was fast tonight. When I slowed up too fast in front of Phil Temples and on the outside there, and we got together. It was my fault. But from the time I started in the back, it was just a workout trying to get any track position, and everybody was so close speed wise that as the tires burned off, that was my last hope that the car would come together, and it worked.
And that was the one thing we noticed. We also said this, JR, we watched him race it the last couple seasons. He usually gets out there and he's gone, but tonight you caught him and passed him like it was no big deal. Was it just your car in the long run that much better than everyone else?
I tell you, I think I got ducked in and got a fresh car, and I think that I know JR racing up there, it scraped the wall a few times, and I got to assume that didn't help the car at all. So we just put our nose down, and we got lucky with some inside restarts again. What a huge difference those are, and we picked a few of them up at the right spot, and then right at the end of the race, it was just being as gentle as possible.
So we go into Thanksgiving break. You get to sit down, take care of some turkey and some mashed potatoes and whatever else you like to eat on Thanksgiving Day, knowing that you're a point leader with 3 races left. That's got to make you feel pretty good.
Only as good as that was a great race, and then next week's going to be a brand new week, and you just kind of don't know. But I know this week, Wade Cheetah, Joe Marks, Mike Curtis, my cranky team, all these guys are getting involved and helping out, trying steering ratios and lines, and we spent a lot of time working on it this week. We're going 100% full bore, and there's so much help, and we have a good time during the week getting ready for tonight.
Well, we appreciate your time as always, Matt. Congratulations, 4th win of the season, and as always, we appreciate your time, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you to Lawrence Towing and virtualcrypt.net, Lowell, and Matt Hoos. Awesome weekend. Thank you guys for what you do.
Absolutely. 4th win of the season for Matt LaVenture, Sean, and as you can tell, he's not even thinking championship. He's thinking 1 week at a time.
Well, I've caught up with J.R. Shepard, and I'll tell you what, man, I'm happy that you got yourself another podium this season. How's your spirits right now, J.R.?
They'd be a little bit better if I could have held him off there, but no, great job to Matt. He definitely had a fast car, especially on that long run, and for whatever reason, I don't know, was the track rubbered up? It just seemed like the front grip on my car just went away and started shoving the nose real bad, but Matt did what he needed to do. Great drive, and awesome job, man.
How hard were you digging when you started to feel like he was starting to close in on you?
I knew he was coming. He was about a half of a tenth to a tenth of a second faster than I was, and as he started to inch in, I started to push a little bit harder, just try to get a little more out of the car, and it wasn't there.
It just wasn't there, huh? Jeez. Man, Chris made the comment when he got by. He's, I just don't remember seeing J.R. Shepherd get past. And man, you're just so consistent every week. You run that perfect line every time, and it really wasn't about the line, was it? He just seemed to have a better car there at the end of the race.
Yeah, he definitely did. I'd like to make an excuse. I mean, I did hit the wall early in the race, but I don't think that had anything to do with it at the end there. I heard what Matt said, and he was just definitely faster at the end for sure.
Well, it was a great race. This has been an exciting season, and nothing is mathematically decided at this point, JR. I call you Mr. Taking Care of Business because that's what you seem to manage to do every week. And listen, second place still going to be a good points haul, going to still keep you close enough. You're going to get a chance here before this is all said and done with. We've got 3 races left to go. We're going to take a little break next week, and then we're going to get settled back into some racing to finish these last 3 races. I like your chances.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. I mean, never say never. There's still time and still a lot of racing left to go, but want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving for the week off next week, and thanks to Lawrence Towing and Lowell and the Bootleg Racing League. This is a lot of fun to get to do this and to have great guys like Matt and everybody else that's in this field. There's some tough customers to deal with every week.
Yeah, the competition just seems to get better every week, JR, and you're one of the reasons, buddy. We appreciate you having the time to talk to us, and you have yourself a happy Thanksgiving, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, Chris, that was J.R. Shepherd, the Ford Motorcraft SK Modified driver. Philip Temple's another great drive this week. Finishes 3rd. Phil, you're back on the podium.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run, starting as deep as I did.
Yeah, it seemed like you managed to be at the right place at the right time to avoid the trouble out there.
Well, I kind of caused a little bit there with Matt in the middle of the race. I think he checked up, he said, and I just closed the gap and couldn't get on the binders quick enough.
Yeah, well, things worked out okay for him. They worked out okay for you. You've gotta be just ecstatic right now to get yourself on the podium. That's a pretty good points haul tonight. Never too early to start looking into next season. Maybe a championship out of the question for this season, but this consistency we've seen out of you here in the second half of the season, certainly eyes looking forward to next season already.
Yeah, if I can get used to this new setup I got, we'll hopefully make a run at it next year.
Did you upgrade your equipment there in the rig?
Yeah, we went to some Phonetic stuff instead of the G27, and it's a huge difference.
Okay, so there's a little bit of adjustment going on and getting used to some new hardware. That's always a lot of fun. And, it looks like it may be starting to pay off just a bit, Phil. So congratulations again to you. Happy Thanksgiving. We look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
All right, man. You guys have a good one.
All right, and that was Philip Temple's driver, the number 19 SK Modified. And Chris, another great race here on Saturday night, and that one did come down to the end, and maybe a little bit sooner than you and I both thought, but it definitely came down to the end.
Yeah, it did. I thought it was going to come down the last couple of laps there, but LaVenture, as JR pointed out, and even Matt said, it just seemed like he was just that much faster when it came down to it towards the end of the race there. Was able to make the moves and able to make the pass and go and get win number 4. And I mean, he has definitely made his mark on this league and making his mark on this season. But look at it like this. Tonight was the 8th race we've completed on the season. Shepherd and LaVenture have won 7 of the 8 races.
That's pretty crazy. It really is, and it's pretty staggering. Those two have become certainly stars in this league, and they're not original members. They don't go all the way back to the beginning. In fact, JR showed up just before Matt did, and both of them have been strong since they've shown up. And guess what? there are more drivers coming for 2017. This is going to get really spicy next season. And hey, listen, we've still got 3 races to go. With 3 races to go, anything can happen. There is still hope. Matt's been strong, but listen, again, 3 races to go. I think it can be done.
Oh, absolutely. And I just looked at the updated points, at least from what I have. I know it's not official, but Shepard down 9 now officially to Matt LaVenture. And then you're going to have Donnie Moore 12 back, somewhere in that range, obviously, give or take. So it's not over until it's over, but LaVenture keeps winning and JR keeps finishing second. JR's not going to gain much.
Yeah, true.
Or vice versa.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about those must-win scenarios next time we're back. But until then, let's thank our title sponsor, Lawrence Towing. They service the Indianapolis, Indiana area and the neighboring communities. Remember, if you find yourself in need of a tow, Lawrence Towing is the way to go. And Virtual Grip Network, it is a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing. At virtualgrip.net, you can stay up to date on what's happening in iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Blanc Pond GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreed Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Virtual Grip Network, iRacing news and reports. Find them at virtualgrip.net and on Facebook /Virtual Grip.
Also, thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more info about the Bootleg Racing League, go to facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League and bootlegracingleague.com.
All right, and the original music you've heard on today's broadcast is thanks. Oh, wow. You know what? I think I messed that up, didn't I, Chris? Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen now that we use on our broadcast.
I had your back. The original music you've heard on today's broadcast is, of course, thanks to Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde. You can see the screen for how to contact each of them.
I think my rods and cones are getting a little out of whack. The Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series returns in 2 weeks, December 3rd, for the Outlaw 100 from South Boston Speedway.
That's going to be fun. And for more information about all GSRC events, go to globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel.
And Chris and Joe back there in the truck, I want to wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. All of our viewers here at iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel here on YouTube, happy Thanksgiving. We've cleaned up this place a little bit. We're going to put the lock on the gate.
Oh, Sean?
Yes.
We're all coming to your house, right?
That's fine. No problem. I'll get busy now. It's going to be a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, Yazik likes to eat.
Yes, he does. All right. So we had, like I said, we cleaned up a little bit. We're going to put a lock on the door, close the gate, get out of here. I'm going to go find a turkey. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.